Item 10D, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Eisen Latunik for the development of the bicycle and pedestrian master plan in an amount not to exceed $197,671. David?
Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, the purpose of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan project that is before you this evening is to develop a vision and identify specific individual development projects to implement new and improvements to existing bicycle and pedestrian networks within the City of San Bruno. The intent of this plan will be to integrate it with the overall master planning efforts for streets and sidewalks within the community. This master plan will help to clarify and carry forward the more conceptual visions for these bicycle and pedestrian networks as they are described in the city's general plan and transit corridors plan. The network improvements that are identified will be implemented through the city's Capital Improvement Program, CIP. Funding for this project comes from the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, MTC, Development Act Article 3 grant in the amount of $100,000 and a local match of $100,000 that was approved by you, the City Council, in January of 2014. Since that grant funding cannot be used for project management, an additional $40,000 for project management has been requested in the staff report, and these funds would come from Measure A. A competitive request for proposals, RFP process, was used to identify a recommended project team to prepare this master plan. 6 teams submitted proposals. Staff members from both the Public Services Department and the Community Development Department reviewed the proposals. Consideration was given to a number of factors, including cost, schedule, and approach. The overall cost estimates ranged from $169,460 to $199,751. 4 of the proposals were determined to satisfy minimum requirements identified in our scope. 2 of the proposals were determined not to meet those minimum requirements. As it turned out, both the low-cost proposal of $169,460 and the high-cost proposal of $199,751 were not brought forward. And they were not brought forward because in both cases what we found were the team submitting the proposals submitted rather standardized approaches that really didn't reflect the needs or conditions here in San Bruno. The remaining 4 proposals in terms of cost range from $193,284 to $198,830. Based on our interviews of the 4 teams brought forward in the process, the interview panel, which included members of the Community Development Department and Public Services Department, and the chairperson of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee, identified the firm and team of Eisen Latunik, Transportation, Environmental, and Urban Planners from San Francisco, teamed with David Parisi, Transportation Planning from Sausalito, to prepare the master plan. This team's proposed cost estimate is $197,671. Staff and the chair of BPAC came to this recommendation based on the following. Both Nico Latunik and David Parisi, principals, would have direct and considerable day-to-day contact and roles in the preparation of the master plan. Both individuals communicated considerable enthusiasm and commitment to prepare a document that would be customized to meet the needs of the city of San Bruno. Nico Latunik is bilingual, being fluent in both English and Spanish, and committed to incorporating bilingual components into the project. The team submitted a very strong public engagement process, which included a survey, an internet survey, a number of community events and meetings, group bike and pedestrian assessments, and involvement of local schools. In addition, their proposal also had sub-consultants in the area of Americans with Disabilities Act requirements and health assessment. They also indicated in their proposal that they would prepare a 10-year action plan identifying and prioritizing capital improvements to move forward the overall project, and they indicated that they would provide at least 5 grant-ready competitive grant projects for submittal. Based on this information, staff is recommending that the City Council adopt the resolution attached to your staff report, recommending authorization by the City Manager to execute a contract with Eisen Latunich for the development of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan not to exceed $197,671. This evening, Nico Latunich is in the audience and would be prepared to respond to any questions you may have. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Ken?
I don't have any questions, and I'm glad he's here because I was going to ask, I mean, we've never had something like this. We've had other studies. We've had other high-priced consultants. I just wanted to be clear on how we justify this because this is something, and sitting on the CCAG BPAC advisory board for the last over 10 years, it's amazing how many millions of dollars are being funneled into cities for pedestrian and bicycle improvements. And I'm proud of our staff in our city and our committee as to how they've been able to take advantage of all these grants, because we're not really, I mean, Measure A funds maybe, but grants, that's how we're paying for all our improvements. And I was really proud when, about 18 months ago, we got this, it was actually the BPAC and the MTC approved San Bruno's application for this grant. So, but I'd like him to, if he could, to maybe expand briefly as to what we can anticipate as to the making up of this master plan.
Sure.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members. My name is Nico Latunich. I'm a principal at Eisen Latunich. We're a transportation planning firm based here in the Bay Area. We've been around for about 10 years, and we work on a range of transportation projects, although we do specialize in pedestrian and bicycle planning. We've developed plans for, most of our work has been in the Bay Area. We've developed plans for several cities, counties, transportation authorities. We did the bicycle plans for Caltrain and BART, and also the regional plan for the Metropolitan Transportation Commission. We'd be excited to work on the San Bruno plan. David gave a pretty thorough assessment of our work plan. We are a small firm, and what sets us apart from the larger consulting firms is that we are able to provide a more customized product and more individualized attention. The larger firms will tend to assign their projects to associate planners who have less experience. Because we're a small firm, we really do everything ourselves at the principal level, and our overhead rates are lower because we're a small firm, and that's how we're able to do it. But that means we take on very few projects every year. We're strategic about which projects we pursue, and we'd be excited to work on the San Bruno plan for that reason. What you can expect to get at the end of the planning process is what gets us excited as planners is to have a plan that will be implemented as opposed to so many plans that just sit on the shelf and gather dust. And for us, the secret to an implementable plan is a work plan of improvements that are financially realistic. You're not looking at pie in the sky, sort of everything in the kitchen sink. You're being really strategic about what's important to the community and identifying the top, however many, 3, 5, 10 projects that will make the biggest impact to the community, and that will provide the guidance to city staff on which projects they should work on for the next few years.
Anything else? Action by the council?
I'll adopt the resolution.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell. Aye. Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Salazar.
No.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.